This is the 2019 Renault Zoe. The bite-sized electric car has been in Europe for 7 years and finally Australia gets its turn. But will it live up to expectation? Let's find out. Since its introduction in 2012, the Zoe has broken EV sales records in France, proving to be a popular cheap-to-run city car. However, its styling from the inside out hasn't changed much since then, with the main updates focusing on its electric motors. So how much is it to get into a Zoe? $51,990 drive away for the Life variant, or $54,540 for this Intense variant. With a $2,550 difference, you get 4 extra paint choices, rear parking sensors, a rear view camera, 16-inch alloy wheels, a leather steering wheel, and auto headlights and wipers. Included with the Zoe is a 5-year 100,000-kilometre battery warranty and a 3-year unlimited kilometre vehicle warranty. But enough of numbers, let's take a gander at its looks. Sure, the styling is 7 years old, but I think it is dated quite well. It's sort of cute with a sprinkling of attitude, and some say the face looks like an emoji. As to what emoji that is, I think I'll leave that up to you. The charging point is really well hidden right behind the Renault badge, and the brand has also hidden some other things, like the rear door handles. It makes the car look like a two-door, and I think it sort of works. And down to the wheels, the snazzy 16-inch alloys are Michelin Energy EV tyres, which reduces rolling resistance and saves energy, which saves you money. So how big is the Zoe? It's just a tad over 4 metres long, 1.7 metres wide and 1.4 metres high, almost to the exact centimetre as the BMW i3. With its 305 kilogram battery, the Zoe comes in at 1,470 kilograms all up. But will the battery decrease boot space? Not at all, because the battery is under the seats, so there's a surprising amount of room in the boot. 338 litres in fact, and it can fit one of these. It's even 38 litres bigger than the Clio. And how's this? This is something that you would see in the back of a classic car. A fold-down rear bench seat, but the only thing is you've got to go around the back to fold them back up again. So the door opening is quite large, so it's easy to get in and out of, and as I mentioned before, the battery is under the seats, so the floor is raised a little bit, and as you can see, my legs are raised. So as an adult on a longer journey in the back, it could get a little uncomfortable, but knee room and headroom largely remained unaffected. As in terms of practicality, there's not much. So there's no connections, there's no vents, there's no map pockets, barely any door storage, and just one cup holder for one. There's a lot of plastic on the door trims too, even on the armrests, so it's definitely a place suited for shorter journeys. Shall we jump in the front? So as we established, the exterior has dated, well, quite well, but the interior, not so much. The leather steering wheel is a really weird shape, and the plastics and the trim could be better, even if it does feel quite solid. I like the ZE pattern on the roof, on the dash and on the headrests, but I feel a leather seat option would have given the cabin a more of an upmarket feel. And these seats have no height adjustment, and the height actually reminds me of our own Abarth 595. Storage in the front is woeful. Apart from this shelf where you can sit your phone, there is nowhere else that you can securely put it. It'll move around in there, as it will in there, and there's no enclosed storage. Oh, and these cup holders? I would not trust your $4.50 cup of coffee in them if I were you. I do like how the R-Link 7-inch touchscreen sits quite high on the dash, so it's easy to glance at the likes of satellite navigation while you're driving. Even though the infotainment is a little clunky, DAB radio is a welcome addition. Android Auto is functional, but Apple CarPlay is not. Some other connections down the front here, you've got 12-volt socket, USB and auxiliary connection. It does lack in safety tech though, so there's no sign of lane departure or blind spot technology, autonomous emergency braking or adaptive cruise control. While there's not much tech inside, what about the tech that powers this car? No petrol engine or hybrid in sight here. A 41 kilowatt hour battery pack can get a claimed 300 kilometre real life range, and in cold conditions around 200 kilometres, as the battery needs to work harder. By using your standard 3-pin plug at home, a full charge can take up to 15 hours, which is basically an overnight charge. If you want a quicker charge, a dedicated home charging point will take only 3 to 4 hours. At an average of 28 cents a kilowatt hour, a full charge will cost $11.50. The battery doesn't exactly propel the little Zoe. It has 68 kilowatts of power and 220 newton meters of torque with a top speed of 135 kilometers per hour. And it takes 14.5 seconds to reach triple digits. But is that sort of power enough? Yes and no. Considering its weight, it keeps up to traffic perfectly fine and is zippy around town with its one-speed transmission. But the downside is the lack of fun factor. The steering is a bit blasé and you can hear it thump over bumps, but the ride is actually pretty good. At around 25 kilometers per hour, it does make a loud humming sound, which can take some time to get used to. However, the regenerative braking, which is designed to extract energy from when the car slows down, isn't as jerky as some other EVs. The energy flow diagram is fascinating to keep an eye on. You'll find yourself slowing down earlier and using the brakes less just to see how much energy you can bank up. In summing up, the Zoe is a cute little car with lots of character. Perfect for a city runabout, it has loads of space inside, so the cabin is starting to show its age and it is lacking a lot of safety features which should come standard. However, it won't have you worrying about petrol prices as it should have enough electric range to get you to and from work in a week. But all that does come at a decent price. Even though it's still cheaper than a BMW i3, at the end of the day it's still a lot of money for a small hatch that hasn't been updated in quite some time. Head to caradvice.com to read the full review and check out our YouTube channel where you can subscribe and check out all our latest videos.